with Suzanne. We've got a great guest coming up. We're gonna show you a lot of creative ideas as well. But in this hour, we're talking about how to end being sick and tired of being sick and tired. How to truly, truly maximize the life we have. It was interesting, Marjolaine, my husband and I, we were talking the other day, and he's not usually one to be very mushy. He's not the mushiest guy in the world. But he said to me, isn't it amazing that we're going in the back half of our life healthier than we've been in many, many years? As opposed to going into the back half of your life thinking it's all over and you're done for. That is truly remarkable, and I think the AeroPilates is such a wonderful way to be able to change that conversation.
Right, well, we all know that we have to move. Movement is really the key to staying healthy and staying youthful, but moving the wrong way is the worst thing you can do, and a lot of people are injured and have gained weight and are unable to do the things that you really want to do when you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s. You know, hiking, climbing mountains, playing with your grandchildren. I mean, these are all really important things. So this is one way that you can incorporate a system of wellness that really, as Suzanne has said, will quickly make a huge difference in your life. You know, you'll feel it right away, and you don't have to do it every day, and you don't have to do a lot of it every day. The convenience of having it at home means that you can do 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before you go to bed at night. You know, if you happen to twist the wrong way in the garden, you can do 2 or 3 stretches and fix the issue so that you're not waking up feeling pain in the morning. Sleeping better, de-stressing, just taking that 20 minutes of me time is the most essential thing for me. You know, I used to meditate a lot. Now I find this to be like my meditation. It's like doing a yoga class, having a chiropractic adjustment, doing a strength training class and a stretching class all at the same time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk about the storage, because a lot of you go, wow, it's pretty long, and like, where am I gonna put it? That's always a big concern.
Okay, pull the foot bar out. Release the cord, push the platform all the way back. In the middle is a hinge and wheels at the end. So once you assemble it, it takes about 15 minutes to assemble. It's generally 90% assembled. You're going to add wheels, the little feet, and screw in the end caps. That's it. So that was folding it. And when I want to use it, I just literally unfold it, and down it goes. The hinge is in the middle, attach the platform. You've got 3 cords here, a red, which is super strong, a black, which is in the middle, and a yellow one, giving you 7 levels of resistance, which is plenty. And then you put your foot bar in. It folds away really to like the size of an ironing board.
It totally does, yeah. And you can squeeze it in the littlest closet space, or if you've got a and if you leave it out, great, but maybe just want to put up against a wall. That's how I've done it as well. Put it in a closet, up against a wall. It does not have to be laying out all the time, because it's just that simple to put away. It's not hard at all. So if space is one of your concerns, please don't let that be a concern. When I bought my AeroPilates, it was simply because we were living in under 700 square feet. I had very little space. I still wanted to work out, so that's when I purchased my AeroPilates, was when I was at the smallest space I've ever lived in. Now, Marjolaine, if you don't mind, let's talk about that, but I do want to get into the rebounder, because that is an addition of all the things we have that I know you highly recommend. I love the rebounder, because I could do things on the rebounder that if I had to do it on a cement floor or out, you know, on a sidewalk, I could not possibly do it.
Let me tell you the story of how the rebounder became a thing. I was a runner. I was obviously doing reformer Pilates. It healed my body from a serious accident. I found myself in such better shape, more toned, stronger, more flexible than I ever was before. But I started getting stress fractures in my feet. And the first one happened one summer, and the doctor said, you know, you're in your 50s. I'm surprised you haven't had one earlier, because you've been running for a long, long time. Anyway, the following year, the other foot, I said, okay, that's it. I can't really run anymore. I need to do something differently. And in the old days, Joe Pilates had a jump board. So there was a very hard, solid piece of wood that you would put in place of the foot bar and jump against it. And he used it for ballet dancers to learn how to do their jumps and their pirouettes, etc. Anyway, we came up with the idea, what would happen if it was a trampoline? And so developed it, did the studies. What we learned was no impact on your joints, which is amazing because the jump board is still very impactful. It's like jumping on a hard concrete floor. Running, as you know, creates stress fractures in your feet. And so your joints are protected, your inner organs are protected, and the abdominal workout that you get from rebounding is beyond, apart from the lymphatic flow and all the other benefits of rebounding. So that rebounder, was developed, and then we started doing studies and saw the weight loss that happens so easily because you're burning more calories. So you can see here in these animations, every single reformer exercise engages your core stabilizing muscles, which is important for functional fitness. It's actually how our bodies are supposed to move. So in life, you're supposed to initiate from your abdominals, and most of us forget we have them. So the reformer is going to teach you how to do that. But when you're rebounding, you actually have to, do you feel it in your belly?
Girl, yes.
It's like you'll get a flatter tummy. It's the only thing that got rid of my C-section pooch after Louis. And I am amazed at how much improved my VO2 uptake is, my cardio health, my heart health, etc. And people started losing, 2 pounds a week, easily.
Which was in the study. Now imagine doing this. You're doing it 3 times a week for 20 minutes, and by the end of the first month, potentially you can lose 8 pounds. Now let's prove the difference between a non-Pilates body and a Pilates body in these before and afters. Let's talk about those.
All right, so look at Janine. Obviously, she's starting to gain belly fat. She's lost her posture too and her structure. So after 8 weeks of just doing the foot bar and the rebounder 3 times a week, you can see weight loss was obvious, 13 pounds, but muscle building was something that happens too. So remember, you're changing your body composition. You're not just losing weight, you're actually building muscle, which weighs more. So in fact, if you really thought about it, she's lost a lot of inches, but the pounds are sort of, they're a little bit under what they normally would have been because muscle weighs more. So she's converting her fat to muscle. Her posture's improved. Look at how you can see on one, her head was over on one side more than the other. Her shoulders are back where they're supposed to be. Her hands are facing the right direction. Her pelvis is better. Everything is better just from the 3 times a week.
That's amazing.
So again, you're going to see that too. If you just get on, do the basic workout that comes, there's so many. You get 29 workouts today. But if you just do the basic one for a week, 3 times, you're going to say, wow, how amazing do I feel? And then eventually you begin to see the changes and look differently. So Tina lost 15 pounds. You can see her belly's much smaller. She's obviously lost inches around her hips and her waist.
Look at her legs.
Her legs, her posture. And the smile on her face is the best part, I think, because, you're really going to enjoy doing this. It feels good to do. You'll look forward to it. And when you can't do it, you'll feel it. You'll think, oh, I can't bear being away from my reformer because, for me, it's my best friend.
Right.
I really love it. I was just in Australia for Christmas, and my brother has my dad's old one. So I brought new cords and I revived it. I cleaned it up and I pulled it out and I got on it, and I was so grateful that I still had a reformer to use.
You can pack the cords, not the reformer.
Exactly. It was fantastic.
So here's what's happening too. I've got a lot of you on the line for it, and a lot of you are like, okay, here's your chance. It's been many, many years that we've offered the Pilates Reformer or the AeroPilates Reformer. And for many people, it was like, but tonight we're the lowest price we've ever offered. And there's new upgrades to it. So it's not like you're getting some model we had 5 years ago. It's actually been completely upgraded, which is amazing. The black is the #1 most popular at this point. You're loving the black, followed by that beautiful beige. The beige to me is like the Rolls-Royce car, the fancy car with the beautiful interior and the white exterior. So I think it's gorgeous. And then of course we have the deep teal as the 3rd color. Here's what we're doing. We've got 5 flex pays. You can get this home for $60. Isn't it worth trying something different? Maybe you've tried to diet a lot. Maybe you've tried to work out at the gym. Maybe you got that gym membership and you never use it. When you switch to Pilates, it is a complete game changer because there's absolutely nothing else out there like it. I mean, nothing. If I've ever seen a couple friends of mine go to Pilates classes, and I'm telling you, for one class, they pay more than a flex pay here at HSN, and they pay over and over and over again, and they have to get to class. It's not the convenience of having it right there at home. So for less than the price of one class, so go 5 Pilates classes, you're gonna be able to get this home, and you literally will use it for years. Believe it or not, this unit is so comfortable. The padding is beautiful. The seat is nice and wide, so it's comfortable, it's balanced. Do you know this holds up to 300 pounds? That is how sturdy and strong and well built it is. And yet it folds up to about the size of an ironing board, and it's easy to move and put away. We have all the reasons why it's a yes tonight. It's the beginning of the new year. For me, that's the time to make those new commitments, to feel refreshed, to look at the year differently. Last year's done, it's gone, it's over. You've got a fresh start in the new year. And it doesn't matter if you're 19 or you're 92. Getting on the Pilates Reformer is just a completely different experience. And you can say, oh my goodness, I have not even stretched or worked out in 10 years, and you can start. And again, think about this. It's so effective, top to bottom, inside and out, and 360, that you only have to commit to 20 minutes 3 times a week. Other forms of working out, you're in the gym for an hour, you're taking the classes, you're trying to jog and keep up with everybody or do the crazy dance steps in a class or what have you. With the Pilates, AeroPilates Reformer, what you're doing is 20 minutes 3 times a week. Can you imagine? I mean, literally, by the time this hour's done, you would have finished your week's workout. Think about that, 20 minutes in an hour, you would have finished an entire week's workout in an hour.
Plus, the $60 payment is probably less than a pair of running shoes or an outfit to go to the gym.
Exactly.
And most of the time, I have 3 friends that own gyms. People buy the membership at the beginning of the year, they go for 2 or 3 times, and then they stop going. And then you're still paying that exorbitant amount of money every single month.
Yep.
So let's talk flexibility, because I don't think we emphasize it enough, especially when we're younger. You know, my 30s and 40s, I really didn't stretch the way I do now. And now I realize how important it is to have long, mobile muscles so that one isn't pulling and compensating in a way that gets your frame out of whack. So there's an exercise called the elephant, which stretches your hamstrings. And why do we need long hamstrings? Because if they're tight, they pull on your pelvis and cause lower back issues. In fact, 99% of lower back problems come from tight hamstrings. So I haven't done this today, nor yesterday. So I'm gonna do it live and show you with 10 reps just what it can do. I'm gonna touch my toes. So this would be a standard way of just measuring how long your hamstrings are. And now that I do Reformer, you know, I'm much more flexible than I used to be. So, you know, my fingers are on the floor. I'm going to do the elephant.
I'm gonna do it with you.
So, okay, so we're on one black. These are very brand new cords, so one black is great. You don't want it too light because it's really hard on your abdominals. So you don't want it too heavy either. Yep. So bend at the waist, lift the tailbone to the ceiling. So your body is making the letter V. Push the platform back. Use your pelvic floor. Pull the platform forward, lift your tailbone to the ceiling, and bring your head to your knees. All right, and again, push back. Do you feel the stretch?
Oh gosh, yeah.
And
I needed it too.
Yes, pull the feet forward, lift the tailbone to the ceiling, head to the knees. Okay, again, we're gonna do, that's 3. Let's do 7 more. Did you touch your toes before you did this?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I probably,
All right, well,
I can tell you I probably wouldn't have been able to touch them before I did it. Let's just put it that way.
I can already feel how my lower back is almost 2 inches, and my hamstrings. You know, my upper body's getting closer and closer to my lower body. It's amazing. It feels so good because my pelvis is being released and my hamstrings are getting longer, but my lower back is releasing too. All right, 2 more. 1 and 2. You're going to be amazed at this. Now I'm going to step off.
Now, trust me, I would not be. I play a ton of tennis. So what happens is my body is always in this squash position like this.
Yes.
I'm always in this. So
All right,
these.
touch your toes now.
Let's see if we can
feel
do it.
different. Okay, well, look at this.
Oh, yeah, I did it. Look, I got to my toes.
And look at me. Look at this.
Oh, my gosh. Remember,
I mean,
she just
that
had her fingers
is
down.
Amazing.
Wait, can you guys see? Wait, do it again, Marjolaine, so they can see.
Okay.
Come over this way.
So,
Kinda...
I was here to begin, and that was really legitimate. I mean, it's pretty flexible. And now I can actually almost double up.
Oh, I needed that
like,
so bad.
I can really feel how much longer and how much more flexibility I got in my lower spine, which means my lumbar spine is much healthier.
You know what's so funny? When you stand up, you're like you feel
Yes.
your chest is widened
Yes.
out. You feel like your lungs can absorb more oxygen when you do that. Like it really,
and your head goes back, so your ears end up over your shoulders, and your shoulders
you're
over
not
your
hunched
hips.
over like this.
No, I
all
mean,
of a sudden you're like, oh, bring it back.
It's happening to everybody, especially kids, like teenagers.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Their heads are going forward, their shoulders are rolling forward, and their lower backs are flattening. Then their hip flexors get tight. Let's do the hip flexor stretch, because that's really important
Okay.
too. It's called Eve's lunge, and it's a really profound stretch that you can't do just simply on the floor. You need the movement of
Like,
the
okay,
reformer.
I would never be able to do this on the floor.
No.
There's not a possible way.
And if you have sciatica or any of those really lower back issues, this is a wonderful stretch. So you're just going to lower your hips to the floor, and what happens is that goes back, and you feel the stretch all the way through the front of your hip, right?
Yes.
All right, rotate your shoulders away, just simply away, the other way. And do you feel your psoas now?
Yeah.
That's a muscle that causes so many issues for people because we tend to be tight on one side versus the other side.
Well, and you know what I like about this too in this position, especially with a wider bar, is if you're a beginner, you can hang on.
Yes.
Like she's so used to it, she's doing all the extra stuff. But if you're like, okay, this is my first time, and if you could only go back a teeny bit, like she's basically doing a split, okay?
All right,
like
now
I can go back
you can.
pretty decent. But look, could I do this on the floor? Heck no, I could not do this on the floor.
So the reformer's protecting you, and that's the other thing I love about it. The resistance bands protect you. They support you where you're weak, but then they challenge you where you're strong.
Right.
And so there's not one exercise that you won't be able to do where you don't feel totally safe and profoundly affected. You know, once you finish it, you think, oh, what an amazing, I mean, this stretch alone, you can't replicate it.
No,
Just
there's no
rotate
way.
away, get into your psoas, open up your shoulder, and then if you want to work the hamstring, you just lengthen that way, and you are doing the split.
Just FYI, if you guys could widen out just a hair, can you do that again? Marjolaine is 70 years young, okay? Look at that. Guys, believe it or not, you can do it too.
I couldn't do this when I was 40.
Isn't that funny? And honestly, you look at it and you think, oh, there's no way I can do that. My gosh, why not give it a shot? I mean, imagine if you could. And like I said, how are you going in the back half of your life or the latter part? You should not be, I believe, going into it thinking, I'm done, it's too late, it's too far over. I look down and I got too much going on. And by the way, this is great for guys, it's great for girls. It doesn't matter who's in your family. It doesn't matter who you live with. You know, everybody can jump on this. And it's tremendously different than any style of working out you've ever done before. So if you're brand new to the whole concept of Pilates, welcome to Marjolaine's world. She is the person who's responsible for bringing Pilates into the home with her AeroPilates system. That was amazing. She really revolutionized the idea of bringing this into your home, because before you'd have to go spend a ton of money at very expensive classes, and the equipment's very big and bulky and it's not easy. In fact, I mean, the results were there. That's why people fall in love with it, but no one made it smart. No one made it capable of going into your home, and she's made even more improvements on tonight's version. Just as a quick reminder, we do have additional pieces available. We've got the mat, we have the headrest does adjust, that's on there, but if you want to get extra, you can. And we have the magic circle, which we do have to talk about. I'd say of all the additional items we have, that rebounder is a huge game changer. If you get the rebounder, that's where you really start to accelerate the weight loss. If you want to talk about toning, abs, everything else, the AeroPilates rebounder, or excuse me, the AeroPilates system is going to do that. But when you add the rebounder, that's where you're really going to kick up the calories, and you're going to really kick up the burn. Although I have to tell you right now, I'm sweating, and I've not been on the rebounder at all, hardly. 3 colors. This is the brand new teal color. We've got the black, which is the most popular right now. We have what I call the luxury car beige. You also, with the system, will get a wall poster that actually can take you through your entire workout. You also are going to 60-day start. You also are going to get with this a bunch of goodies to get you going right off the bat. Remember, you get 29 workouts online that's in any streaming service you have. So your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever you have, you're gonna have 29 of those have access to, and on her.com site, there's over 300 additional workouts that are available to you as well. This is exclusive, you cannot get it anywhere else, only here at HSN. We're offering 5 flex pays, we include free shipping. It's a very happy big box when it arrives, so that's included in our price. If you want the black, and remember to please check out, we do not have a ton of these for the day, and this is the only AeroPilates Today special we will do for the entire year as our Today special. So go ahead and check out, because if someone's actively buying it, our systems will take it out of your cart and they will move it into the cart that's actually purchasing it. So please don't miss out, especially if you're looking for a specific color. I want you to watch this next person and hear their story behind how this has really changed their lives.
Using the AeroPilates machine, I've lost 17 pounds and 20 inches all around in an 8-week period. It's not just weight loss, my body feels better. Before the program started, I was really nervous just because I've always been an athlete all my life, and so I haven't really been super flexible or anything. It's actually more whole body than I thought it was. The day after, I was like, oh, I'm sore here and I'm sore here, and just every part of my core was sore. So it's a good sore because I know that it's working areas that haven't been worked before and building those areas. And it's nice because if something feels a little too hard, you take the resistance band off. If you need a little bit more and I'm like pulling too quickly, I just add another band on the AeroPilates machine and it's great. If I only have 5 minutes, I can jump on the machine and do 5 minutes of using the rebounder. I can do 5 minutes of just doing my arms. I can do, if I have more time, I can jump on it. It really kind of takes away that excuse of I don't have time to work out, because you do. You can do a full body workout or you can do just 5 minutes. Working out with AeroPilates does make it fun. You kind of don't realize that you're actually working out. I lost 17 pounds in 8 weeks. I feel wonderful.
That is amazing. 17 pounds in 8 weeks. Like, people go on diets and they just
on average
losing 2 months a month, and 2 pounds a month. That's an average of 2 pounds a week. That's really remarkable.
And it's a healthy way. You know, that's the perfect amount to lose because you'll keep it off.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're talking results, obviously, losing weight, losing inches, improving posture, getting your back where it needs to be, getting rid of stiffness. These are all things that you're going to see and feel. Weight loss tends to be the #1 reason why people exercise, but I want you to consider that there's many other important reasons. Movement is key, flexibility is key to your youthfulness, building bones is important as we age, being flexible is really, really important too, and reducing stress. All of these things go into a wellness program, and typically to get all of that, you would need to do a lot of things: some yoga, some massage, some chiropractic, some stretching, some strength training, machine, weights, etc. Today, you can do it all on this one machine. So if toning and defining your body and improving your posture is key, then you don't need the rebounder. If you want to lose weight, add the rebounder, which is, I don't know, it's a ridiculously low amount of money. I can't even make it for that amount of money. It's normally closer to $100 and some. So
Yeah.
today, it's really a giveaway for you in case you want to add it.
And again, this is the rebounder. That's where we were doing the
And the
bouncing.
circle's the other thing that I love. If you're going to do Pilates, I think you have this on your coffee table when you're watching TV or you're just sitting down. So you can work your inner thighs, which is really important. Inner thighs are the key stabilizing muscles along with your abdominals. If your inner thighs are weak, your lower back is also weak. You can work the outer thighs, the saddlebags. Just put your feet in and push out, and you're working all these muscles here. The reason I love it the most is arms. So let me just work it here. Look at this. You can get biceps. So, I mean, look at that. You know, it's just an isolated movement.
Great.
But what about your neck? I mean, at 70, my neck gives me away.
Well,
You
yours
know,
doesn't.
Well, thank the Lord, because of my magic circle. If I put this on my forehead and I just isometrically push my hands, all those little muscles underneath that hold my head in place, that make that loosey-goosey neck, if they're not strong, work out. It's fabulous for that. You just do 10 of those a day, makes all the difference. Work your arms, work your belly, work your inner thighs and outer thighs. Fabulous little device. I don't know how much it costs today, but it's just an amazing addition.
It's $25.25. There you go. And we've got FlexPay on that
Amazing.
too. The system itself, though, just as a quick reminder, it's the lowest price AeroPilates we've ever offered in the history of HSN. Everything else is going up. This did not. We actually went down in price. It is the only chance you get it as a today's special. And please remember, we're $119 off retail. After the day's over, even here at HSN, it's going to go up $80. And why would you want to spend $80 when the price goes up, when right now you can get the color you want, you can use the FlexPay, and you're going to get our lowest price we'll do all year long. It's the perfect time to absolutely go, this is my year, to really go, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it is completely different than traditional working out. It's gentle, it's almost Zen-like, and yet you're getting a full and complete workout, more complete than typically any other thing you could ever do. It would take, as you mentioned, Marjolaine, a combination of a ton of different workouts to achieve what you can do on this. And here's the crazy part. Can you do it 3 times, 20 minutes a week? Can you imagine, in the 1 hour we're talking, you don't have to worry about working out for the rest of the week. You're actually done. Oh my goodness. Now, why does that happen, Marjolaine? It's because it's in one motion, in one workout, it's triggering a whole bunch of different results in those certain motions.
Right, so look at this, okay? This is how you begin every single workout. It's called the warm-up footwork. And it's important to start with the basis of your feet, because your feet are everything. So you begin to push away from the bar with the resistance that's comfortable for you. What am I working? First of all, I'm working my core abdominals because I'm moving through space. So I'm initiating using my belly, which is important in life. So I'm actually teaching my belly to stabilize my pelvis when my legs move. Then I'm doing a squat, basically. So all the muscles of the quads. Then if I just lower the heels, I'm stretching through the back of my legs. So these are exercises that I would perhaps make in the standing position, but because I'm lying down, my deep core stabilizing muscles get fixed. They get longer, stronger, wherever they're tight, wherever they're weak. The reformer begins to see my imbalances in my lumbar spine. It helps stabilize the pelvis so that it's even and not twisted and tipped. If I change my foot position, I'm now working my inner thighs. These are just fabulously profound little movements that will change everything about how you move the next time you get up off the reformer.
So true, too. What are some of the things, like as we age, that this will actually help with that usually is a problem?
Okay, so first of all, flexibility. You know, Joe Pilates used to say, you're only as young as your spine is flexible. So if you can't twist your head and look behind you, or you can't reach to the back seat of the car when something's there, or you can't reach up to grab something that's high up, or you can't bend down to pick something off the floor, you know that you've got a very stiff spine, so you want a flexible spine. What about range of motion in your wrists, your elbows, your knees, your ankles, and your shoulders? You know, these are really important joints that we tend to wear out, and they get stiffer. You're going to get more range. Bone density. How about bone density? We need to build muscle and strength train to build bone. So as you get older, that's very important. Stress, sleeping better. As we get older, we tend to not sleep as well. So AeroPilates will help you to reduce the stress hormones and get a better night's sleep and improve your mood. What else do you think? Weight, of course. You know, people tend to gain weight. They think that's very normal. And then they lose their posture. So they get fat tummies and rounded shoulders and heads that fall forward, and stiffness and achiness and bad moods and grumpiness, and all of that comes together. You're going to see such a big difference in every part of your wellness if you just do a little bit of this every day. And I promise you, if I had found something better, I would have brought it to you already. But I haven't found anything that does as much as what the AeroPilates Reformer can do for you.
And let's look at some before and afters again, Marjolaine, if you can take us through those.
Yes.
And really
okay.
kind of show you what a difference it can make in such a short amount of time.
So we took real people, not models, took real people, gave them a reformer, gave them the weight loss weight management system that's in your box today, and said, do this 3 times a week. And then we measured. We measured their VO2 uptake. We measured their fat, their inches, their stress, their flexibility, and we saw massive changes. In these pictures, it's subtle, but it's really important, and this is only after 2 months. Imagine you do this now and you incorporate it in your life, and in the next 6 months, you just get better and better. I'm stronger and fitter than I've ever been, and I'm 70, so you too can have that. You're going to get a flatter tummy. You're going to get tighter, stronger, more functional muscles that actually do something when you're moving through life. You're going to get better posture. You're going to get more range of motion. You're going to obviously lose inches in the obvious places, you know, your saddlebags, your hips, your tummy, those sorts of areas where we tend to gain weight. And then tone and definition all over. Every single muscle in your body, including all the deep stabilizing muscles, the little teeny ones, get a workout every time you get on your reformer. And then the other thing that you do is you stretch and lengthen and add youthfulness to the way in which you move.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting too. It's interesting to watch people who are older, and as they get older, they start to shuffle when they walk.
Oh,
there's not a stride anymore. There's not this glide anymore. And there's no reason.
They begin to do this.
Yeah, and they shuffle. Little shuffling. And you see them, and sometimes, and if you happen to be that one person, you really are shuffling, and you're like, oh, it's too, I'm too old, I'm too far gone, I'm too overweight, I'm too that. You literally are not. I mean, Marjolaine is 70 years young, and she looks amazing. And she could probably outflex, outbend a bunch of 20-year-olds that are out there. And it's because she's been committed to what she created so long ago. And here's this unique opportunity, and it doesn't matter what age you are, literally. And what I really love about the videos is she will take you from, oh, if you can't do it this way, do it this way, which I really appreciate that. For a lot of beginners, it'll say, well, if that's too much for you, she shows you how to make these slight baby adjustments so that any level and any condition can actually get on it. You don't have to resign to being older and going, well, forget about it. I'm too far gone, it's too much this, I'm too much that. If you're not getting down on the ground and playing with your grandkids, getting down on the ground, maybe it's time you invest in this. If you aren't zipping up a flight of stairs really easily, maybe it's time you invest in this. And aren't you worth $60? I mean, what have you spent 60 bucks in the last couple of days? If you go out to lunch, for gosh sakes, it's almost over 60 bucks just to have a darn lunch anymore. Why not take maybe that dinner out one time a month for the next 5 months and invest it in your AeroPilates system? It's easy to assemble, it's not complicated, it's super easy to get started, and the results are absolutely out of this world. You will feel so good and so different even at that very first workout. And remember, it doesn't take a ton of time or commitment. Can you imagine changing your life on 3 20-minute workouts a week? So you knock it out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you got the rest of the week off, or do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then don't think about it till next Monday, or however combination you want to do it. It's 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening before you go to bed, but only 3 times a week? What piece of equipment or gym out there says, just come in 3 times a week for 20 minutes, we're gonna change your life? No, they want you gotta do an hour, you gotta take a bunch of classes, it's ridiculous. That is why AeroPilates is so incredibly effective, because you're doing more in one move than you will basically do using several pieces of equipment at a gym. That's really the game changer of the AeroPilates system. By the way, remember, we've got all the upgrades. I love it. Already the headrest does that naturally to position it the way you're comfortable. We've got the kind of adjustability lines now, so you know, and get an even adjustment on your straps. It's easier than ever to adjust the straps, which are great. We have the widest foot bar we've ever offered.